Welcome everyone to another Mariontrainer Live, where we keep the Keep It Simple podcast. Today we're diving into a crucial topic: the art of balancing fitness, work, and personal life. It's not just about juggling these elements, but mastering them harmoniously. And so before we really get started, we want to give good thanks to our sponsors, onboard101.com /Mariontrainer, Identity IQ, Pink Lotus, and the Mariontrainer Healthy Family Recipe ebook. I hope everyone is doing well. And before we get started, well, we are here now, so let's do what we gotta do. Let's get here. And I'm seeing the picture that's in front of you. That's a part of it all. Juggling, trying to be too many places at one time. And sometimes you just gotta sit back. You just gotta sit back and just look at it all and say, where do I start? Start overwhelming myself and put myself in a position to not get stressed out from it. That's like the biggest thing. So when we start, let's start by understanding what balance really means. And it's not giving equal time to all aspects of your life, but rather finding a harmony that works for you. Now, for instance, a busy professional might find a 20-minute high-intensity workout from onboard101.com /Mariontrainer. They might find that more feasible than an hour-long session, effectively trying to balance fitness with a demanding work schedule. And that can be tough, because you hear people a lot of times say, I just don't have the time. And you're going to hear suggestions: if you did it in the morning, how would it be? Would you get it out the way? So we'll continue on. And there's going to be several things you're going to learn about, prioritizing. And as you're always going to hear, your health should be a top priority. I'm going to start with that. Your health should be a top priority. It's the foundation that supports all other areas of your life. And giving you another example of that, it would be like, if you're in good health, you're more likely to perform well at work, be present in your personal life, and discuss practical ways to incorporate fitness and healthy eating using resources like the Mariontrainer Healthy Family Recipe ebook. You're more likely to have time for that, because you're balancing it out and you're not trying to dedicate an hour to this and dedicate another hour to that. That's just going to be very tough. And the other thing is time management. Time management in work and personal life, be tough. Effective time management is the key. It's about working smarter, not harder. And some have heard me say that. Share techniques like the Pomodoro technique for productivity and setting specific, like no work times, or ensure quality and personal family time. And the Pomodoro technique is basically chopping up different things that you have. Like, so I'm going to dedicate 25 minutes to working on the project I have at work, and I'll probably take a 5-minute break or 10-minute break. Instead of going to the gym and working out an hour, I may be able to dedicate 30 minutes. So basically, you're trying to give yourself that time so your personal life and your business life don't clash. And then that just kind of basically puts you in one of those moods where it's just tough to get things going. And we all know we want to have time to do the things that we like, that we know is going to help us. And the fourth one I'm going to talk about is the role of mental health. Balance also involves mental health. Techniques like mindfulness, meditation, and using services like Pink Lotus for emotional well-being is essential. I say this to you all because, Pink Lotus, my ladies out there, y'all don't have to suffer in silence. Pink Lotus is definitely there for support. And we all, I mean, I've been studying it. I've done seminars. I have like really researched it. And menopause is definitely a thing, and it's definitely something that is cause for concern. And hopefully, I've been reading more stuff. Even insurance companies are having talks about it, or about ways that they can incorporate that in for when you go to your doctor and it's covered. So that's one of them. And because your emotional well-being is essential. And you can share an example of like how taking short mental breaks can significantly improve your overall performance and relationships. And if you don't find that balance, it could stress you out. It could make you go bonkers. And that's not what you want. What you want is to have a balance of, kind of like I say, the USA moment. That you want to be like, you don't want to be so stressed out when you get nothing done. You get overwhelmed, you eat. That's one thing people run to because it's emotional and it can relieve you. But the downside to that is it may have you just want to get so out of shape and being unhealthy. Instead of segregating, like, say, fitness, work, and personal life, find ways to integrate them. And for instance, a family workout session, a walking meeting at work, or cooking a healthy meal with your partner can combine these elements seamlessly. It's a joint effort. And the other thing is adapting to life changes. And man, we wake up every day thinking, it's going to be one way and then it turns out being another. Life is dynamic, and so should be your approach to balance. Be ready to adapt your strategy as your circumstances change. A new parent, for instance, might adjust their workout routine or use tools like Identity IQ to reevaluate financial plans, accommodate their growing family. When you put yourself in a position to, I'm always going to say this, when you put yourself in a position to succeed, things seem to go a little smoother. Even if you hit a little bump in the road, it definitely smooths out because you have that thing in you like, okay, I cannot do everything at once, but if I chop things up and I ask for help, you have not because you ask not. And sometimes it takes a village to do things. Sometimes it takes going to your partner and say, I need help. And sometimes it takes going to your coworker and say, if you don't mind, could you please help me? There's no shame in asking for help. When I started bodybuilding, I had one guy that I was in the Navy with. He was telling me, I think you have a great physique. And he was basically trying to tell me on the limited knowledge that he had about it. And then I did my own research and, started buying all the magazines. And I realized that, you don't have to overwhelm yourself. You're just taking it spurts. So I took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and worked it out. So when I had a busy schedule, when I first moved to where I'm living now, I basically I had a career business. So I had to balance out going to work. I got to get my meals in. I'm going to compete. I got to come home. I got to go to the gym, and I got to do it all over again. And sometimes building you a routine, and it don't have to be for a short period of time. For me, it was always anywhere between 8 to 10 weeks. That was usually, I was very fortunate enough. That's usually the amount of time that I had to diet. So I really tried to balance all that out. So it would be like, okay, I get up in the morning, I already have myself ready for the night before. I go to work, I come home, I go work out, I go back home, I prepare the meals. And I literally did that for 8 to 10 weeks straight. And the results, it was smoother, a lot less mental stress on you. And it was fulfilling for me because I achieved the goal that I put out there, and I could balance work, gym time, and family time. If I needed to, and at that time I was single, so if I had a family get together, or wanted to hang out with one of my siblings, I balanced all that. And then you just get to points where you pretty much know what your goals are, and you just hone in on that. And that's what I did. And that's an example of how I basically balanced all this out. I did not overwhelm myself. And plus, the working out did help the mental. So, you got to, again, I'm always talking about surround yourself with people who want to see you succeed and not see you fail, or just don't want to offer words of encouragement. And sometimes that's what most of us need. We need words of encouragement that will put us in a position to succeed. Because you literally can get lost in yourself. You go to work, you don't have time to think about yourself because you got a task and a job that you have to do. And this is usually a lot of times why people don't work out. They get so exhausted from the job, which is why morning workouts might be the best for you. And some say, well, I got to get to the gym, I got to work a certain time. Do it at home. Start out with the basics. At least you're doing something. A little something is better than nothing at all. And once you put your mind to being in a situation where you're trying to succeed, you pretty much have that level of fulfillment, accomplishment, and it makes you feel good. I mean, I know it makes me feel good, and I hope that it could feel that way for you as well. But like I say, don't overwhelm yourself with things that really are out of your control. If you know you have a deadline, let's say you got a project and it's due, we're in January now, almost February. Let's say it's due in April. Don't wait to April 1st or the end of February or March. Start working on it. Start chopping up little bit by little bit, which will make you feel like, you're trying to create that balance, because that balance also gives you that you don't have to take your frustrations out on anybody. Be it your family, your spouse, your coworkers, even your gym members. You can actually complete all these tasks by don't wait so long to get started. Just get started now, because then it makes down the road seem a little easier, because you're like, oh, I'm going to work on this like 20 minutes a day. I mean, I even do that when I'm reading. I say, okay, I'm going to read for 25 minutes. I'm going to read for 30 minutes. And there's times that I've said, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read for 45 minutes. Set the alarm. It goes up. I feel accomplished. So as we wrap up, this is what I want you guys to know. I want you to remember that balance is personal and fluid. It's about making choices that align with your goals and your values. Visit Mariontrainer.com for more resources and guidance. Let's master the art of balance together, one step at a time. And I know you all hear me say, you will hear someone say, the road to 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So someone say, well, how do you start the first step? One foot in front of the other, one step at a time. You got to remember, stop stressing yourself over things you can't do, because if you stress, you get sick. How are you going to complete the task anyway? I'm big on health and fitness. I'm big on nurture your relationship at home, and your job is what it is. You have to complete the task. If that's what you're tasked to do, that's what they pay you to do, you have to do that. But give yourself enough time so you don't have that stress level of, oh gosh, I got to do this. Because procrastination will hurt you every time. Be the change that you want to be. And you guys know, at the end of the day, it really is about you and your improvement. And before we get close to the end, I want you guys, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But for YouTube, I want you guys like, share, and subscribe, because we're trying to grow the channel. And I try to do it on all platforms from where I'm from now. StreamYard, I go to all those platforms that you're seeing now. And at the end of the day, I tell myself, just like I tell you guys, when I have a task in front of me, I have things I need to get done. And I say to myself, if I feel any type of way other than the way I feel I should, I'm going to come back and say to myself, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Okay, guys, take care of yourselves, but most of all, take care of each other. And again, as always, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in. Share with someone, because somebody somewhere needs these words of encouragement. Y'all have a great weekend and enjoy.